What's up, everybody? Can you believe it is the end of the 40 grand in 40-day challenge? I'm actually back here in the office working, and I wore my vacation shirt, as you can see, because I feel like I'm on vacation. Life is so much easier not having to do the 40-day challenge, run my wholesaling business, run my coaching business, help my students, but I'm so glad I did the 40-day challenge. It ended up being a huge success. And the reason I consider it a huge success is not just because of how much money we made, which is a lot, and we'll get into that in this video, but because you guys got to get an over-the-shoulder look of what it takes to be successful. I showed you the good, I showed you the bad, I showed you the ups, I showed you the downs, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the support and the love. I appreciate that you guys saw the authenticity of what I was doing, and I'm grateful for that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how much I spent, how much I made, where I made it, break down each deal, and give you guys a quick recap of what happened on that 40-day challenge. So, as you guys saw, I was only in Florida for about 28 days. I had a family emergency. My wife and her family, my wife was visiting a family in Brazil. They all got COVID. My father-in-law was hospitalized. It was very scary. My whole family got sick. I jumped on a plane to be with them and to support them, and my brother-in-law was like, Zach, you're so genius. You get on a plane, fly to a third world country just to get COVID. Very smart, you know. So that was pretty scary. I was a little nervous about my health, but I wasn't going to not be with my family during that time. So I only got about 4 weeks, you know, the 28 days there in Tampa. I did do some follow-up calls, and I did get deals while I was in Brazil, just following up with people that I had talked to. I quit cold calling. I stopped doing what I was doing. Didn't have my film guys with me, right? They couldn't go to Brazil with me. So I'm going to break that all down, how it all works. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithms. It helps promote this so other people will see this and help me bless other people's lives. So make sure you stop and hit that like button really quick. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already.
I'm Zack Boothe, and I am so confident in what I teach my students that I've flown from Utah to Florida so I don't have my normal connections. I'm going to take $1,000 and turn it into $40,000 in 40 days, doing exactly what I teach my students. I'm going to have a film crew follow me around, and I'm going to show you guys and give you an over-the-shoulder look at exactly what it takes to get started from scratch in real estate investing with just $1,000 and make a ton of money in just a short amount of time. I hope you guys enjoy this journey and follow along.
So let's dive in. The first deal that I did, I met Jerry on day 4. Very sweet guy, love him to death. And I actually interviewed him. He's going to be on the YouTube channel. Him and his wife, I did a Zoom call. He'll be on the podcast and the YouTube channel. So he's a great guy. He ended up selling me 3 properties. So day 4, I got my first 3 contracts. The first 2 properties, we closed them pretty quickly. We closed on them when I was still down in Florida. Those 2 properties, I ended up keeping them as rentals. The tenants that are in place now have an option to buy the house from me. If they exercise the right to buy the house, I'm going to make about $110,000 profit from just those 2 deals. If they don't cash me out and just pay me rent, I make about $18,000 a year. It's all tax-free because I'm depreciating the asset. I'm using tax advantages that are available to real estate investors. So regardless of what happens, I made a lot of money on those deals. But the whole point of the 40-day challenge was to show you how to do real estate wholesaling, how to have no money and make money, right? So those don't necessarily count towards the 40 grand according to what boundaries I set. But I couldn't help but keep those as rentals. They were too good of a deal. I could have assigned them for about $20,000 each, but I wanted to keep them for myself. I knew I would find more since it was only day 4. The third contract that I got with Jerry, it was in very bad condition. The tenants were problematic. They had friends living in tents in the yard. You can see from the pictures, you know, the first 2 properties, they were in really good shape. And then this property was full of cockroaches and everything else. Struggled to find a buyer. I had a student, Sergey, that was going to buy it, and ended up falling apart. We found a new buyer. We're going to make $10,000. That's the only deal that hasn't been finalized. We're supposed to close here on Friday. It's Tuesday right now while I'm creating this. So that's about done. We have a buyer for $10,000 on that deal. The reason that deal took so long is because we had some title issues, and we also had an issue with the driveway. So the road into the driveway was a private road. And on the county parcel maps and stuff, it was showing that was a private road, and the new owners, the people buying the house, wanted to make sure they would always have access to the lot. So they didn't get landlocked and can't even drive into the house. So it would make the land basically worthless. It would make the property worthless. So we had to solve that, hire a land survey, get signatures from the neighbors. It's been a nightmare. To say the least. But we're going to make $10,000. It's going to close. But that didn't close, right? It hasn't closed yet, so I can't necessarily count that either, right? So those are the first 3 deals. The fourth deal was Stephen. So Stephen was him and his brother inherited the property from their dad. Their dad had passed away 2 years before I had met them, and it hadn't gone through the probate process. So they hadn't finalized the paperwork for them to be able to legally actually own the house and sell the house. So when I met with them, I offered to pay for the probate fees. And if you remember from the content, I don't even know if it aired, but I negotiated with a real estate attorney to pay for the probate once we finalized the deal. So I didn't have to pay out of pocket since I only had $1,000 for the challenge. That deal has officially closed. And the check, as you can see right here, here's a picture of the check. We actually had the check mailed to us on this one because it's a different title company, wiring issues. I don't know why we did that. But we got that one finalized, and we made $30,000 on that deal. So fantastic. That one closed. Excited about that deal. And if you remember right, I thought I was going to make anywhere between 15 and 30. And was very happy to be able to achieve the high end on that deal. The 5th contract that I got was the vacant house, and that was the one where I had the problematic buyer, where the buyer wanted to renegotiate after we came to a price, and I tried to renegotiate with the sellers. I ended up having just to cancel that agreement. I could have, gone after them for the $5,000 earnest money, but they weren't playing ball. I would have had to file a lawsuit. To me, it's not worth the $5,000 for the hassle for $5,000. So that deal fell apart, and that's part of it, right? That's the reality of this business. My first property I ever put under contract, I had to cancel for the same reasons. I was under contract too high, But that's something that you learn as you go, and you get better at knowing what properties are worth and what your buyers are willing to pay for them. I was new to the area, and I didn't know for sure, but kind of a struggle, kind of frustrating. That was emotionally difficult because I was in a time crunch, and I'm sure many of you will deal with that. But what was important is I kept pushing forward and finding more leads and finding more sellers. So after I got those first 5 contracts, is shortly after that is when I found out my wife wasn't going to be able to come back to Brazil and be with me, and there was issues, and they were sick, and so I jumped on a plane and went to Brazil. Obviously, the camera crew didn't get to follow me, so I didn't get to share any of the follow-up calls and content there. I stopped cold calling. We were all very sick. I did the follow-up calls, though, and followed up with people I'd already talked to. So I got 2 contracts within the 40 days. I got those contracts while I was down there in Brazil. So the 6th purchase contract that I got was with Jackie. So I had met with Jackie multiple times. I went to the rental. I don't know if you remember the content, but that was very, very frustrating that I couldn't get the agreement while I was there. We ended up signing the agreements. I thought I was going to make anywhere between 20, maybe 30, maybe even more. I wasn't quite sure because we had some problematic tenants which could affect what your buyers would pay. But regardless, what ended up happening is I found out there was a judgment against Jackie that would make it impossible to sell the property and have any profits whatsoever. There was a $70,000 judgment. It basically killed all the proceeds that were going to go to Jackie as well as profits to me. It just wasn't going to be a deal at that point. So I actually had to cancel that agreement because of title issues. So which happens as well. I was very disappointed on that one. I really wanted to help Jackie. She was in a tight situation financially. Plus, of course, I was trying to make money. So that was a little frustrating, having to cancel the second contract for the challenge. And then the last contract, the 7th contract, that was the whopper. That was the good one. And I was hoping that I could find at least one of these contracts, one big deal, while I was down there on that challenge. So the last week that I was there in Florida, I drove further south than I had been driving. I had driven around Brandon, Florida, and Tampa area, the outskirts of Tampa, and I decided to drive about an hour south to Bradenton, Florida. And if you're familiar with the area, you'll know where that is. And I added some properties there. And I cold called them and had them in my follow-up to follow up with them the next week. So the first week I was down in Brazil, we followed up with that call, ended up getting the purchase agreement, and we sold that purchase agreement for $53,000. Very excited, or $53,500 or something like that. As you can see here, I'll share the wire that came into my account on that deal. So that deal alone, we were able to hit the 40 grand. So total that's actually closed in my account and assignment fees to this point is $83,500. Once the $10,000 closes the end of this week, it'll be $93,000 in income, in actual earned income from that 40-day challenge. Yes, there's the 2 rentals and the amount of money that I'm going to make off of those. You know, and I think that it's kind of cool that I got to show you the potential of wholesaling as well. Not only can you assign contracts and make massive amounts of cash assigning contracts, but you can make a lot of money by keeping some of the best properties as rentals and using different strategies to make even more money on the deal. So, you know, overall, financially it was a success, but to me the win and what was most important to me was to be able to show the content and share it with you. I wanted to share more content with me actually engaging and interacting with the sellers, but I didn't get any of my sellers that would allow me to film or to document the conversations that we were having in person. I had to respect that, and so I apologize I wasn't able to capture that content for you. But other than that, I felt like it was a great win. I felt like you guys got to see the ups and the downs. I hope you enjoyed the content. I want to ask you one more favor, is I want to create more content for you. I want to add more valuable videos to help you in your real estate journey. So if there's anything you want to learn, anything you want to understand, anything you want me to document, or if you have obstacles or things that you feel like are keeping you from being successful, comment in those things below, because I want to create content on them. I want to serve you, I want to add more value to your lives. This is my life's mission and purpose, is to serve you and help you become more successful in business, in real estate. So if you have a desire to have access to me, to have help in growing your real estate business and getting the step-by-step action steps it takes to be successful, and to have access to reach out to me and ask me questions throughout your journey, go over to my website, go to dfdmastery.com. It'll be linked in the show notes as well, and book a call with us, and we'll talk to you about what you're trying to accomplish and see if we can help you. But go ahead and go over and book a call with us. I'd love to talk to you, and appreciate you supporting and being here and watching this video and watching all the videos. I really appreciate the support, and we'll be doing our giveaway actually here shortly, which you guys can follow along. I will be posting on Facebook and Instagram for those giveaways for my favorite comments in each of my 40-day challenge videos. So if you want to enter to win, I'm going to wait a few more weeks before I do the giveaway. So my favorite comment in each of my YouTube videos for the 40-day challenge is going to be, my favorite comment will be entered to win. So make sure you comment on each of the 40 grand and 40-day challenge videos to be entered to win for the giveaway, which is full access to my coaching mastery program and access to me as a coach. Thanks for tuning in. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.